Hey there, YouTube land, and today we are going to be talking about, well, I was going to do this kind of like really cool thing where it comes open and like it's all fancy like that, but you know, I went to do it and I was doing it on here and I tried like 3 or 4 times and oh, freak, it worked that time. So cool. Awesomeness. This is Kelly. She works with me and actually we are going to hopefully write something together that some of you guys will hopefully down the road be able to read, because reading is good. It's important. Teach your kids to read and buy books and shit like that. Tonight we're talking Doctor Who. We're going to be talking about our favorite Doctor Who episodes, both classic and new series. Now, Kelly is a big Doctor Who fan from like...
I started watching Who when I was relatively young. My uncle and my mom's best friend used to watch it on TV because they had BBC somehow, some way. And I've seen a lot of old episodes when I was younger too, before the new Who.
I saw a lot of the old episodes when I was younger. Before the new Who. And don't say a word. So, we are going to do our top 5 classic, and then we're going to do our top 5 with some alternates for the new series. So, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first for the top 5?
It's your
or we
video.
can just like go back and forth type of thing.
Okay.
Banter, that's what we need. Alright, so I'm going to pick them in order of doctors. So, there's no like number, it's my top 5, so this, we're going with that. The 5th one, or the first one that I'm picking, is also Matt Smith's favorite episode. Actually, when Matt Smith was chosen to play Doctor Who, he wasn't sure how he was going to play the character. He hadn't seen a lot of the series, so they gave him a bunch of episodes, and he sent him away because he knew that he had the role, but a year before he got it. And he watched this episode here, and he got this kind of timey-wimey type of thing down from that. And that is Tomb of the Cybermen, where you find out that, after all, which is cool. Tomb of the Cybermen is a really good episode. I think it's the introduction of... Victoria just came in the episode before that, at the end. And this was their first time as a full-on companion. Now, the cool thing about this is, even though the Cybermen are kind of like the villains in it, they're not really the major villains. There are, like, human villains, and it's a very dark, very gothic style episode. The whole, like, the rise of the Cybermen, they're coming out of the pods, is still creepy and still neat for today. And this was how Matt Smith decided how he wanted to get the Doctor, how he wanted to do him. And Patrick Troughton was such an amazing Doctor, and Tomb of the Cybermen is my first episode. You're next.
He is one of my favorite Doctors, one of my favorite classic Doctors. But Tom Baker wins my heart through and through because he was my first Doctor. However, I'm also going to start at the top of my list, or the stack that I have. I have the Time Warrior, first appearance of the Centaurians. I don't know why, but I absolutely love the Centaurians from the beginning to even now. I love Jenny, Vastra, and Strax in the new series, and I just love them.
I love Jenny too.
Of course. They're such a well-written species, creature, whatever you wish to call them. I just loved the structure of this episode. It was very unique, very fun, very cryptic at moments too. So, the Time Warrior is one of mine.
First appearance of Sarah Jane as well.
Yes, and I loved Sarah Jane because
Okay.
I wanted to be Sarah Jane when I was younger because she was best friends with the Doctor, and I wanted the Doctor to come and take me away.
I just wanted to be the Doctor.
Yeah, well,
and take Sarah Jane and Perry away, because we like Perry. I almost picked that one, actually. There's another Centaurian which I really do like, and it doesn't get a lot of love, but so I got to mention it as like as an alternate. And that's the Two Doctors, which has Colin Baker and Patrick Troughton together. You get to see Perry. I need a moment every time I say the word Perry. I just do. And of course, Jamie McCrinnan, who I got to meet in person this year at the Sci-Fi The Rock convention. Really nice guy. So my next episode is actually one of my serious favorite Doctor Who classic episodes of all time. It's very gothic. It's very cool. It's very like kind of like satanistic, and that is the Daemons, because they couldn't use the word the Demons. Honestly, that's why there's an A front that E. It's very clever the way it's done. This is the original master, Roger Delgado, and of course when they decided to have the Doctor be on Earth, because when John Pertwee took over from Patrick Troughton, the series went from black and white to color, and color was more expensive. So they decided they were going to strand the Doctor on Earth and leave him there and that would pretty much, they'd have their sets come in. They'd have Unit, which would become a big thing with Doctor Who, and so they brought in a rival Time Lord, somebody that he could be the Doctor's Moriarty. And Roger Delgado was the first actor to do that role, and he did a great job. Unfortunately, died of in a car accident just before he was to do his last episode as the Master, in which it was supposedly going to be revealed that he was the brother of the Doctor, but they didn't go with that. So, the Daemons, definitely number 2.
My second one is The Three Doctors. I loved this episode. This is still one of my major go-to episodes when I'm feeling... This, to me, the first 3 Doctors were just so much the Doctor. I felt like he got lost a little bit in, you know, later Doctor series, but the first 3 Doctors, well, the first 4 Doctors, because, I mean, Tom Baker is my guy. He's my Doctor. He was my first. You always remember your first. 3 Doctors was just fabulous, fabulous episode. I love the banter on Gallifrey when the Time Lords get the 3 of these guys together, and they're like, "Oh God, it's the 3 of them now," and it's just, it is.
Well, the 2 of them together because the one's on
the
screen.
Yeah.
But he's there still.
Well, yeah, but they do make reference to the 3 of them being together, and it was just amazing. One of my go-to episodes when I'm just feeling classic Who and I really want to feel the Doctor.
She really wants to feel the Doctor.
Hey, you want to feel all the companions.
Okay, so that's also the first appearance of the character Omega, which is kind of like a renegade Time Lord that would be shown again in another actually cool Peter Davison episode. One of the few cool Peter Davison episodes. Not my favorite.
No, it's true.
Next up is, I hope I get the freaking name right on this one, The Talons of Wing Chiang. Classic Tom Baker. It's during the Hinchcliffe Holmes era. Philip Hinchcliffe was the producer of Doctor Who for a while, with Robert Holmes being the main writer, and he loved Hammer. They both loved Hammer and the classic Gothic horror. So you got a lot of classic Gothic horror in Doctor Who around that time period. It actually makes it the best Doctor Who ever. And this is one of my favorite episodes. It's just so fun, so cool. The giant rat is absolutely ridiculous, but the puppet, the little puppet, Chinese puppet that goes around killing people is amazing. I love that.
I forgot about that.
And Layla, who is, of course, gorgeous in this. Unfortunately, she's not wearing her loincloth, but around Layla. She does wear a classic Gothic Victorian thing in that.
My next, of course, the next 3 are all Tom Baker. The Horns of Nimon. I never could pronounce things properly. It's a struggle of mine. The struggle is real. Very, very cheesy episode. Very fun episode for me, though. I found it creepy watching it for the first time around when I was younger. I liked the darker feel of it, but it didn't feel as dark because of the cheesiness. It felt like it wasn't as dark and scary as it could have been. I also love K9 because, you know, it's K9. One of my favorite episodes, when I want to go back and see a good, well-made villain, in my opinion. Or, well, villain, not really specific villain, but villain series or species, however you wish to call it. You know.
So what I like about that's Layla Ward, who was the second actress to play Romana, and was married to Tom Baker, actually, for a very short period of time, because they really didn't get along well, so ended up, like, romance on the set and fighting on the set. Lots of fighting. My next one is Mark Alarani. I wanted to get Colin Baker in. Nobody gives Colin Baker the credit he deserves. And he's the Doctor, whether you like it or not. It's one of his big lines. I love the Rani character. Unfortunately, Kate O'Mara passed away last year. And I think it was last year. And Anthony Anley, who played the second person to play the Master, as like with his real face type of thing. And he did a great job. I know a lot of people talk the pantomimeness of Anthony Anley as the Master, but he just was incredible. Mark the Rani was one of my favorite episodes. The Rani was such a great character. I was hoping that when they brought on the new Master, the Mistress, as they're calling her now, that was going to be the Rani. I was really, really hoping that was going to be the Rani. I have no issues with the Master being female or anything like that. That's not it. I just really thought that the Rani character needed to be used. And I don't normally like Pip and Jane Baker, who wrote this episode here. They are really bad writers for Doctor Who. But this character is freaking genius. There's some comedic aspects to this. Of course, this was when Doctor was first doing the longer episodes. Before the new series started, Colin Baker was the first person to do those 45-minute episodes.
Yep.
So There was like a Peter Davison one, but it wasn't like, we're not counting that. So let's go on with our next choice.
My next is Tom Baker in the Pyramids of Mars. I really dug this episode. I don't like mummies, as a general rule. I'm a monster gal. Vampires are my thing. I love werewolves, fairies, all that kind of thing. I am a very much gothic horror, mythological fantasy kind of gal. Mummies were never my thing because they were too based in reality for me, but this one scared the shit out of me with mummies. And it really added a mythological feel to the mummies, in my opinion. It was a bit cryptic. It was a bit darker at points, but not too dark.
That was one of his most dangerous villains. Sutek's actually one of the most dangerous. Like when you think of villains that actually got the Doctor to kill the Doctor, Sutek was probably one of the top ones that actually did that.
Yeah, he actually and I did like that part of it too. He took the Doctor down a peg, which I don't think needs to happen every now and again to keep a character real.
But the very best part about the Pyramids of Mars is that famous line that would be forever remembered for everybody. Meet Sarah Jane. She's my very best friend. And that was used when she passed away. Actually, when they were doing like one of the things to her. So before I get all weepy and stuff, because I really am, it really bothers me.
Yep.
My favorite episode of all time is actually one of, and this one is the number one, and it's been the number one for many people for many years. It's won the list for a reason. And you guys know what it is. I don't have to tell you. It's Genesis of the Daleks. This is Doctor Who writing at its utter best. The Daleks have become such a powerful, insane force. They've been wiping out races of people, planets, that the Gallifreyans come to the Doctor and they say to him, I need you to go and I need you to stop it at its source. So it's kind of like that whole kind of thing. If you could go back and you could kill Hitler when he's a baby, when he's innocent, do you do it? And that's what it deals with here. Do you go back and do you kill these things before they have a time? Can you change them? Do you have the right to play God? And that's what Genesis of the Daleks is all about, and it does it brilliantly. It's one of the original Sarah Jane and Harry episodes. Ian Marter, who played Harry for only one season. The reason that was because they didn't know at the time who was going to play the Doctor, and they thought maybe they'd get an older actor. So they had this other actual doctor, Harry Sullivan, Ian Marter in the series as well, to do a lot of the physical stuff. But Tom Baker himself is a very physical actor. So they didn't really need Ian Marter. Ian Marter was a huge fan of Doctor Who, so for years later, he's, again, another actor that's passed on, he wrote novelizations for Target Books, who did all the novelizations for Doctor Who. So for many of those years, when there was no VHS to get, when there's no DVDs, there's no going online, the way you read, or you found out the Doctor Who episodes that you didn't see was those Target book novelizations. And Ian Marter was one of the major writers behind those. Malcolm Hulke did some great stuff too, but Ian Marter was one of the fantastic writers for that. Genesis of the Daleks is also the first appearance of one of my favorite villains. That is Davros. Davros is well used in this. Unfortunately, Davros is not always well used, but he would be in Resurrection of the Daleks as well, where, of course, we get that famous line, Doctor, it's just not fun anymore. And she walks away and doesn't come back. Dancer Smith.
And actually, ironically enough, is at the top of my list as well, is Tom Baker's The Deadly Assassin. I don't know what about this episode got me. I don't know if it was where it was a rare solo episode for a Doctor. There was no companion in this one.
It's the very only one without a companion.
I don't know. I loved this one. It touched a lot of things that hadn't been spoken to with the Doctor at that point in time, and I can't, for the life of me, pinpoint the exact thing about this episode that I love the most, but this is another one of my go-to watches when I want to get classic and get, like, when I feel like the Doctor is lost, that's where I go to find him again.
Deadly Assassin is actually another first. It is the first time that you really get to see Gallifrey really get to see it, and you get to see his political system and stuff like that. It's a very political episode. Actually, The Deadly Assassin is pretty much based on Manchurian Candidate, a movie with, of course, Frank Sinatra's remade badly. But that's a classic episode. We also get to see the kind of, what do you call it was used recently in the Doctor Who series. I want to say Nexus, but it's not Nexus. What am I looking for? Oh, God. The Mistress used it to bring back this...
Oh, heaves me. I haven't seen any of the Capaldi... I've seen the first 3 Capaldi episodes. I'm kind of falling behind on them.
And that's a Master episode. Roger Delgado had died, and they didn't think they were going to bring back the Master, but with such a good character, they realized they could not bring him back. So they put... I think it's maybe Peter Purvis. I think they put a bunch of makeup on him. And, is it Peter Purvis?
I have no idea. I'm looking.
I'm not sure. I know that one person played one. I can't remember right now. Anyway, so the actor that played the Master did a really good job. It's freaking creepy. I gotta make sense. Because, look at this, guys. So this was what kids were watching. This freaking character, let's bring him up, right there. That burnt up, scared, freaky-eyed character. People were watching. The kids were staying up late and watching this guy. This is fucking terrifying. Just look at the face. That is something out of a horror movie.
That's probably why I like... I like Doctor episodes that...
No horror stuff. That is the Hinchcliffe Holmes era I'm talking about.
That gets
the
me.
Gothic stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Would be the one of my favorites. Yeah, that's actually one of my favorites. But we wanted to have different stuff, so I said, she's like, we can have the crossover. I'm like, no, we can't.
No.
So we're going to the new Doctor stuff now. We have a lot of stuff because we do like a lot of the new Doctor episodes.
The thing with me is I don't have a very good memory, especially for a lot of stuff like this. Like, I wouldn't be able to get on like he does and talk about the movies and all the actresses and the years and stuff, but the new ones are still really fresh in my mind, so it's a lot easier for me to pinpoint these and remember episodes that I did really enjoy. With the old Who, I've got my go-to episodes and episodes I do remember, so.
That because also I'm a huge geek with a weird memory. So my runner-up episodes, because let's do the runner-ups first. I've got 2, and one is School Reunion with Sarah Jane Smith. It also had Anthony Stewart Head from Buffy as the bad guy in it, which was very cool.
I loved that. I just about went bananas when I seen that. Rob,
you're Buffy fan too, yeah.
Yes, of course.
And the other one has one of my very favorite actors of all time, and that is David Morrissey. David Morrissey started out in didn't start out, but he acted in a show called Blackpool. It was kind of like a 6-episode kind of a musical series that starred him, and of course, David Tennant as the detective that was like kind of going after him and would eventually steal his wife from him. The Next Doctor is one of my favorite episodes of all time. It just didn't make the list. It could easily take the place of anyone on this list, and it's an alternate only because of that reason. You gotta have alternates that are good. I got some really unique, different episodes here, and I just chose them for certain reasons. Because I just want to have some different stuff. So, what's your alternates?
My alternates are the 50th anniversary special, because that was just such a pleasure to watch. It was fun, top to bottom. You had Smith and Tennant in it, which, in the regards of fun, are probably the 2 best Doctors for it. They're the most young and jubilant Doctors. So, rightly so, they are the most fun to watch. Fez. I absolutely love the tongue-in-cheek of those 2. And then I think the War Doctor, fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. The War Doctor, I think, was really well done. I think he was cast really well. I think it was written really well. I have no qualms about it. And I love how it actually took me back to the 3 Doctors, seeing the 50th anniversary special. It was really well, yeah, different like that one. Because it had the same camaraderie between his 3 personalities, as it did in the 3 Doctors episodes. So that's one of my runner-ups. You've got to mention the other thing. You've got to mention it. What? Tom Baker's appearance. Oh, well, yes, of course. At the end of the series. That was amazing. I cried. Did you cry? I did. I cried at the 50th anniversary when I seen Tom Baker. I did. I totally did not. I actually cried during this next episode, too, because I was pregnant at the time that I first watched it, so, a little bit emotional. Planet of the Ood. I think that one was so deep. Donna was the companion in this one, and I found Donna to be a lot like Sarah Jane. Very much so. More friends than romance, more not afraid to tell the Doctor how it is, put it right in his face and let him deal with it. I liked that confrontal nature of her. I liked her no BS attitude as a companion. She wasn't my favorite companion, but I did like her because of that. Yes, well, he has a thing for caffeine, so we will just leave that alone. He needs a moment. I'll keep talking. Planet of the Ood, it got me in my heart, in my feels, and I think that's one of why it's one of my... I love the Ood. Such a fabulous character, species. So well done, so deep, and so untouched. Like, you just, when the Ood first appear, I can't remember the name of the first episode that the Ood are in, but you just get... They're such in the background of that episode, yet such a major part of that episode, that you almost could forget about them. But then when they go back and revisit them, melt my heart. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I bawled. I'll admit, I bawled.
Okay, we're going to the 5 now. It's really got like the creepy eyes in the background. Cause and you want to know why that was left on like that? Because when I don't see that, I have to turn this thing. I go to my keyboard, and you see me do it all the time here. And off camera, my hand goes out, and I try to press the so that something comes down. So I just froze frame the first thing I could find, and bam, just to keep it like lighting. So that works. And here's one that's not going to be on anybody's list but mine, and I'm a really big fan of it. And it's Unicorn the Wasp.
It's on my list too.
Agatha Christie classic. It was fun. It was a throwback to the older stuff. It's like kind of like Robots to Death and the whole like drawing room murder mystery type of thing. The Tom Baker episode. I liked it a lot. I really liked the way that was done, and it's just a favorite. That's really all there is to it. It's just a really cool episode, and we know who did it. I won't give it away, but it was a good review. Obvious review.
So this one is kind of a little bit of a homage to my husband as well. He's a painter and artist. It's Vincent and the Doctor. I absolutely loved that episode, and I liked it because it touched on a little bit of the darker behaviors of Vincent van Gogh as well. And I don't know.
That was a good episode. It was a sad episode.
It was a sad episode. I think, man, Doctor Who episodes, they either make me feel or they scare me, and that's what makes them my favorites. So
that one actually did make me tear up when the Vincent actually gets to see the effect that he would have on the world, and yet it would not stop him from the depression that would cause him to end up taking his life, and it's just what happened in real life.
Yeah, I loved that. I loved how they incorporated. It's okay. I love how they did incorporate showing him that part, the impact, because, like, we're writers, and as an artist, even my husband, as an artist, you do hope to touch the world with your art. Whether it be while you're alive or years after you're gone. That is ultimately the goal I find as an artist. If you're a true slave to the passion, in your heart, that's what you want, is to know that you affected the world in a positive way. And Vincent van Gogh absolutely did that. Absolutely. And I love how they put that in the episode, too.
Tragic and good. Tragic and good.
Mm.
Next one that I'm not saying these no works, is actually Asylum with the Daleks. Why? Was it one of the best episodes? No, but it had one of the most oh my fucking god moments in Doctor Who history. We had been told that they had a new companion. We'd been told that her name was Clara, and Oswald, and we had seen her, and we'd seen the actress that played her. I knew the actress because I watched her in one of the British soap operas. What was it? Emmerdale, EastEnders, one of those type shows. She was a lesbian character. Ends up going to jail. Anyway, so we meet her in that first episode, and she dies.
That episode blew my mind.
Inside of a Dalek.
Blew my mind. She didn't die inside the Dalek. She was the Dalek.
Yes, that's the thing. But she is like.
Well, the Dalek dies. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah.
And we're like, where did he go from here? This is the first time with a companion that you're really, actually not sure where the hell it's going to go. Where it would eventually go would become the Clara show, and the Doctor would take second fiddle, which is a shame. But she is a good actress.
No, it really needed. Smith needed that out with Clara as well at the end.
Smith was too good to need that out.
Smith was good, but I mean,
timey-wimey.
Wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff was Tennant, honey.
Yes, but still, he did it so well. He just did it so well.
But still.
He was more quirky. He was more... Smith would start... With David Tennant was very much a romantic actor, so he got to do a lot of that. He tried to get away from the romance as much as he could with the Doctor. Smith was very much a quirky actor, and it was young, so he had to do it in an old man type of way. And if you look at Smith's accents, he's a very old man. Peter Capaldi did the whole thing, and basically he's like very much like John Pertwee, and with a little bit of heart thrown in with that harshness.
I haven't seen much of the Capaldi episodes.
Oh,
I'm so ashamed.
So
I'm so ashamed to admit it, but I've only seen the first 3 Capaldi episodes, and then life happened, and I haven't been able to catch up since.
That's it. Life happens. See you next episode.
My next episode. Trying to do these in order. So, Bad Wolf. I love the Bad Wolf timeline. I don't know why, but Rose was, Rose was one of my favorite companions of the new Doctors. I also really like Amy and Rory, but Rose got me where I live. Plus, Billie Piper is a fabulous looking woman.
Yeah, I know you like Penny Dreadful for Billie Piper. Yeah.
Yeah, she is quite the beautiful lady.
You guys see second season.
And one of the things that gets me in life is that badassery attitude that you can't touch me. Not the overconfidence or the egotisticalness, but just the knowledge that power exists within somebody. And when she takes on the TARDIS, it was such a well-written episode and such a well-written timeline, because you go back through Series 1 and it's there. It's all there. But then when she takes on the TARDIS, she also takes on the personality of the TARDIS as well, I found.
Which we'd see again when the Neil Gaiman runs on.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. So that was the first real, I felt, glimpse of the TARDIS itself. It used Rose as a venue to display itself as well. It was such a powerful episode for me, such a sexy episode for me, because she just walks in and owns that place. So yeah,
he would
Bad
say
Wolf.
It's fabulous.
It's fabulous. Fantastic.
True. The 11th Hour. Smith's introduction as the Doctor, and he got the best introduction out of all the Doctors in the new series. I mean, I love when Eccleston comes on and just says, "Hi," I said, "My name's the Doctor. Run." Tennant got a really bad kind of a Peter Davison, Cash Evolva type of introduction, which is sad because Tennant would become the Doctor that people would actually see in the same way people see Tom Baker in the old series. He would become the Doctor that people look at. But when Matt Smith is at the end of the episode, and it's been a pretty cool episode, we've been introduced to Amy Pond and her legs.
Yeah. And that outfit.
Oh my god.
That outfit.
That outfit was amazing. I wish she would have kept wearing that outfit. So, anyway, there's a scene at the end where basically the alien comes up and scans the Doctor. And he's choosing his outfit. He's putting on a bright tie. He's putting on his outfit. And he basically says to them that, he said, see what happens to people who try to do stuff, who try to harm this planet. He said, see what I do to them. Now, run. And he had me right there. He had me right there. And she was like, she saw that scene and she was like, that's my Doctor. And that is her Doctor. Matt Smith is her Doctor. Everybody gets that moment when they're watching Doctor Who and you see something and it connects with them. And for me, when I was watching Tom Baker, and he just stopped at one point to like pick up a glass of water and sniff it type of thing, which is really different.
Yeah.
But it's like, because Doctor, we wouldn't just pick up water and just drink it or sip it, or he'd sniff it or something, because he's an alien. That was just one of those moment things. Anyway, so that is a favorite of mine, 11th Hour. It's a really cool episode and a really great introduction to a Doctor that deserved better writing than he got. And I really do love Stephen Moffat, but if I want to see Stephen Moffat writing really well, I'm going to watch Couplings, because that's the best thing that Stephen Moffat's ever written.
That's a well-loved one of mine as well, and it's the same thing that's in Bad Wolf. It's that commanding presence. It's just like, forget everything. It's not ego, it's not overconfidence, it's just fact. And it is what it is. And that moment was a heart thumper for me. I actually fell in love with Matt Smith a little bit during that episode.
It made me a little gay, I think, actually, at that point. Matt Smith, I was like, I'm not, I'm a straight guy, but Matt Smith, I want to be you. Pretty much. Actually, that's pretty true. You're next.
Okay, so the next one is, for me, The Empty Child. The first appearance of Captain Jack Harkness.
Oh, yeah.
Who made my heart go ka-thump, ka-thump, especially his flirty, vivacious behavior with Rose. I loved it. I loved their repertoire throughout the season. Again, tying back to Bad Wolf, I loved...
I have a better chance with Captain Jack than she does because,
well,
in real life.
In real life.
Yes.
Yes.
But
no, you know what? I wasn't even sexually drawn to Captain Jack Harkness. I could see the sexual allure there, but I just loved that character. And when I put the dots together and the face of Bo, and oh my god, I went bananas, ran around my house with excitement once I figured it out. And I really do love that episode. Scary, freaky episode. Oh my god.
Oh, you my mummy?
Oh man, oh man, oh
Cool.
man, oh man.
Yeah.
If like...
That was a great episode.
We have a daughter, me and my husband have a daughter together, and I have a niece as well, and I was that freaked out by this episode that one day he was like, I'm gonna put the girls in gas masks and send them into the room calling you mommy, and I was like, don't, because, yeah. It put, there's so many good things about that episode. It put the fear of God in me, and at the same time made me fall in love with the Doctor all over again because of the introduction of Captain Jack Harkness and his storyline with Rose.
Was the Doctor dancing the follow-up to that one?
The Doctor's Dance, yes.
That's probably the one that I liked the most.
So I believe that was the next episode or the episode after that one.
It was the next episode because it was part of that storyline, I think.
Potentially.
The next one for me is... I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, Dalek. Based on, actually, I think it was like an audio. But it was reintroduction of the Daleks, and we see exactly how much this has affected the Doctor. The destruction of his planet, destruction of the Daleks, and seeing there's even one left when he is so completely alone, and this creature is also so completely alone. And it could be this could be a peace moment, this could be time of, but it's not. The Doctor is still, it's fresh, the wound's open, he's angry, and he just wants to kill it. And it's a rare, very, very, extremely dark Doctor that we see. Probably the darkest that we will ever see the Doctor in the series. Unless you want to go for Waters of Mars, where he literally saves a girl only to have her commit suicide. Because she knows he's fucked the Tomlin in ways not supposed to. The Dalek episode was... It touched me. I actually felt sorry for that thing on its own. Billie Piper, I think, did an amazing job in that one there. When she touched the Dalek, and I was thinking, lucky Dalek.
Yes.
But, yeah, she was like... Because she was a singer before that, man. Yeah, Billie Piper, guys. Let's have a moment. But Dalek was just a fantastic episode. Again, I'm a huge fan of Eccleston. Back from even before this, I mean, Shallow Grave, yeah, amazing. You're next. I lost it. Billie Piper made me lose it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, bud. So the next one is Blink for me, and yeah, it's a common episode. Doctor and the Companion are very rarely in it. Very low screen time for the both of them.
Well,
but
Companion more than the Doctor, though.
They're side by side. They're kind of doing what we're doing here now.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, he's doing that for sure.
Yeah. But I loved the structure of that episode. I love the back and forth. I love how at the end, I love when they do the backwards timelines at the end of the episode where it's all over for her, but she just runs into Martha and the Doctor and she gives them the transcript. And I love how everybody disappears. I love how the angels get so many people in that episode. The Doctor tries to save everybody, but I really do love the episodes where sometimes the villains win.
And Blink is the one episode that actually has beaten Genesis of the Daleks as favorite episode over the years.
It's creepy as all hell.
The Weeping Angels are great characters. I think they're overused, but they're great characters.
Well, in the end, yes, they are overused, because Angels in Manhattan...
It was not a good episode.
It has its time and place.
Yeah.
But, because of Doctor Who and the Weeping Angels, because of Blink, whenever I walk past a statue or anything like that, I always look back over my shoulder. I know it's not real, but it still gives me that chill, and I love it.
Sad, I used to do that anyway. So, but my favorite one is The Sound of Drums. Actually, if you want to say Utopia, Sound of Drums, The Last Time Lord. It's the Master storyline. The Master is my favorite Doctor Who character of all time. And John Smith knew how to make me do this. Not this. John Smith. John Sims. God damn it. John Smith is one of the Doctor's aliases, actually, throughout most of the original series.
Yes. We were actually talking about that earlier with the Fob Watch.
Yeah. Now, the Master... I was a huge fan of Life on Mars. And when they said that, basically, that Sims was going to be taking over the role of the Master, I wasn't sure. I did like him in Life on Mars. I liked him a lot. Life on Mars is the series that I watched about twice a year. It's just one of those shows that really gets me. And not so much Ashes to Ashes, the follow-up series, but Life on Mars. He just did such an amazing job. And the way in this episode, and the reason I chose Sound of Drums is there's a scene that mirrors the very first appearance of Roger Delgado's Doctor. The first time that...
Roger Delgado's Master?
Master, yeah.
You said Doctor.
He would be a good Doctor. No, but when Roger Delgado played the Master first, the Doctor and him do not meet face-to-face, their first meeting. Actually, it's over a phone. And is the Nestine, the Nestine, what do they call it? The other name for them. I'm looking for. Those.
I know what you're looking for. I can't find it either.
The Autons. The Nestine, basically the Autons. And basically tries to kill the Doctor with the phone thing. But and in this one here, in the Sound of Drums, there's the cell phone where he calls the Doctor because he's pretty much taken over. After all, vote for Harold Saxon. Yeah, and they have that conversation again where they talk about so you chose the name the Master, and how obnoxious is that? And he's like, yeah, and you chose the Doctor, person that heals all. And they had a really great repertoire together. The banter was amazing.
It was. And
there was very few characters and very few actors that could do that the way that he did. And I love the actress that's playing the Mistress right now, but honestly, you can't catch Sims. I loved Roger Delgado as the Master. I loved Anthony Allen as the Master because I grew up with Anthony Allen as the Master. That was my Master when I was a kid, and you always remember me first. But John Sims is now my Master. That sounds really bad, but hey, he was perfect for the role, and I didn't think he was going to be, and he proved me wrong, and I'm so glad that he did because I got so much joy out of the episodes that he was in, and I just wanted more. He left me wanting more every time, right up to the end. With the
Do you need a moment?
No, I think I'm good with that.
Okay.
But I just actually thought of Catherine Tate again, so I need a moment there. Oh. And Martha, well, yeah.
And Billy Piper. Yeah. And then Amy's legs.
And then Clara was just so cute.
Yeah, she's just innocent, kind of cute.
God damn it. Okay, I apologize for the swearing in that video there. But anyway, guys, but I can't help it. It's the Doctor. I'm very passionate about the Doctor. This is my show. This is what I grew up with. When I was a kid, I was watching Doctor Who. It would come on PBS. We get the Detroit feed of PBS. And I'd be staying up. It'd be on Saturday nights. They'd show the whole thing. It wouldn't show like an episode. It would be like an hour and a half, 2 hour long. All the episodes kind of put together like movie length. And I'd be like, I gotta, my uncle's passed away now. One of my favorite uncles. He was like, you got to go to bed. I'm like, I can watch it. I can stay up. I can totally stay awake. But often he would win. Sometimes he wouldn't. And most of the time, I would go to bed and come 10 minutes later. And back then, I thought I'd won. In actuality, he knew the entire time. He just wanted me to have that structure of, you got to do it.
And my last episode, my favorite episodes, I might even say of all Doctors is, it's 2 episodes. It's an episode and follow-up episode is Silence in the Library and Forest of the Dead. The appearance of the Vash Nevada, the first appearance of River Song. I love the Doctor and River storyline, not because of the romance, but again because of the timelines meeting beginning to end sort of thing. She's, I knew partway, as soon as she started explaining how this was the beginning for the Doctor, I knew it was the end for her. And I knew that that would be the end of River Sun. Really and truly, it was the beginning of her in the series, but in the Doctor's life, that was the end. And I knew that partway through. I knew that partway through, actually, Silence in the Library. I knew that before she even started, before the episode of The Forest of the Dead. I loved the fact of the little girl housing the library.
Yeah.
I loved that. And Dr. Moon. I mean, that whole thing was just fabulous. The Count Your Shadows freaked me out, because the way he explains the Vaishnavada is everything you see in the mirror over your shoulder, everything you see in the shadows, in the darkness, they're there, they're waiting. And it's something that could so very well be true, something that fits so well into real life. People disappearing all the time, and the creepiness and the darkness. I mean, I'll admit, I'm afraid of the dark. If it's a pitch black room, I am terrified. If I have a little bit of light, I'm okay, but I'm afraid of what I can't see. And that episode drove that home for me so much, and it scared the life out of me, and I rewatch it all the time, because I truly love it.
That is definitely a great one. I love the part where there's
the skull
face
in the
and you don't know right away. It's just really black and else, and you know that.
Yeah, you never, like, you can figure out from the sound, the ghosting when they're gone, but you don't truly know until you see the face in the shield. And I love the way that they put Donna into the alternate. Donna has been saved.
Yeah.
Nobody says saved. They're always saying safe. And just whenever I watch those episodes, I have to watch them back to back.
That's why, because that actually that's how we get to see that what Ratton's River Song, basically, that how she is, like, literally saved. Yeah.
I mean, she's never to exist in the flesh again, but she's always in the library. And I mean, she's the Doctor's wife, and as you walk...
They thought about taking that out.
Through...
Bringing her back again.
Well,
which I think would ruin it, though. I don't think they should bring her back again.
No, she should be done. I mean, yes, I would love to see more of her. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman.
She's an actress that shows herself naked all the time. I watch a lot of British shows, and she is naked all the time in shows. It's kind of like, you see, like, what's her name, Judi Dench, all the time. I mean, like, some of these actresses are like Helen Mirren, naked all the time. Not so much Judi Dench, she did some, but Helen Mirren, naked all the time. And like when I was watching shows, I'm like, really? But but no, she's no, the girl that plays her, who acts on Arrow. She's the mother of
Sarah's mother, Sarah and Laurel's mother.
Sarah.
Which I went bananas. I was watching Arrow with my husband, and that episode I came on, and I nearly tore his arm off with excitement because she was in it, and he was like, what is going on? And I'm like, that's the Doctor's wife! And he's like, okay.
And the guys that do Arrow are huge Doctor Who fans.
Yeah.
That's why they've had John Barrowman in it. And that's why Rory's going to be in the new series.
Oh, the guy that plays Dr. Moon in Silence of the Library and Forest of the Dead plays Walter in Arrow.
Oh, yeah. Actually,
how did I know something like that and you forget it? That's rare, folks.
I'll give her that. I will give her that one.
And then there's Sarah and Laurel's mother, and then there's John Barrowman.
Yeah, of course. He's like,
and, well, the upcoming appearance of
Rip Hunter. It was mentioned, actually, in the series season finale of The Flash. They actually mentioned Rip Hunter's name.
Yes.
And that is, of course, the guy that plays Rory. There we go. That is our favorite Doctor Who episode. So, thank Kelly for actually guest hosting on this one. She'll be guesting hosting on another one, hopefully later on. So, as I always do, say hello to the great Pin Lord in the sky. And you can thank Lauren Rounds Reviews for actually getting that in there. It's Buddy the Phantom. And for me right now, I'm probably going to have tea, because I always have tea, because I'm a caffeine addict. So it is, for me right now, it's time for tea. And do you have any final word? Any, like, Doctor Who thing you want to say?
Watch the Doctor. Go back. Watch the originals. Whatever you can find. Watch the Three Doctors. Watch the Three Doctors and then watch the 50th anniversary episode.
And just because I never mentioned Sylvester McCoy and like William Hartnell doesn't mean I don't really like him, or Peter Davison, because K's on Design is an amazing episode. If you want to run it up, and one for Battlefield and Survival are great with Sylvester McCoy. When he was with Ace, it was amazing. Ace! Yeah, it was kind of a corny thing, but she did. And Ace was the first kick-ass character for Doctor Who. She had like bombs and stuff. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go and make some tea right now because caffeine is my life. It's time for tea, and maybe those creepy eyes. I got to find out what that's from. I think it's, and then maybe it'll be Doctor Who. Or actually, we're going to watch a movie and probably review that. So keep watching, and comment down below to her so that I can get her in more videos, because she thought she was going to be like completely like nervous and stuff, and
I didn't think
not at all.
I'm a streamer. I'm a gamer streamer, and I don't do YouTube videos very often. Seeing my face, not something I'm...
It gets addictive. It gets very addictive.
I like streaming. I love streaming.
So you have a channel, streaming channel, that you have to do. What's the name?
Jersey with a Z, 1011. I'm on Twitch. I do have a YouTube account. I don't upload videos very often. I don't have any uploaded right now. I'm still waiting for my editor to do my highlights. Just started streaming. 2 streams in.
Oh, there we go. Do you want to shout out your hubby's channel?
Alterius, Alterius 2035. That's my husband. I usually guest stream on his all the time. So that's where I got it from.
So there we go. See, there's other channels like outside of your Twitch stuff, and comment down below to get her to do more YouTube videos. So maybe we can get her to do like some kind of channel thing herself. Find her mojo with it. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks, Kelly, and time for tea.